Hey guys, I'm Alex Laughlin and you are watching That Track Channel. So I got into motorsports at an extremely young age. I was like 9 years old. My dad got me into go-karting. That's kind of the entry level of everything. And I loved it so much that I'm 35 years old now and I still race go-karts when I can, even today. I've kind of bounced around everything. I always say that I've raced basically everything except a bike and a boat. I went from karting into legend cars, started drag racing when I was about 15, and then actually quit drag racing for a few years when I was around 22 to 23 and went tractor pulling, of all things. The need for speed wasn't completely fulfilled there, so bounced back into drag racing, and then I've just been extremely lucky to have covered basically every single category within the sport, except obviously a motorcycle. We've been really lucky to win some of the absolute biggest drag races in history, whether it be NHRA US Nationals or the Gator Nationals, Lights Out at in Radio vs. the World, World Door Slammer Nationals and Pro Mod, and right now we're running No Prep Kings, and I'm really looking to add that coveted giant crown trophy to the collection. So we're finally here, season 7 in No Prep Kings. Unfortunately, it took me the first 6 seasons to be able to get in this deal, but we're here, we're running it, and we started the season out really strong, had a really strong car. We won the second chance race right out of the gate from the very beginning, but we've kind of struggled ever since. We had a pretty fast car, but to be honest, the rest of the cars out here are no joke, and so we wanted our car to be a little bit faster. Working on it here and there, we made some of the wrong calls and the car went the opposite direction. We ended up getting a little bit lost overall, but after Kentucky, we decided that we were gonna take everything home, rip the entire car apart, literally from front to back, and I'm really excited to show you some of the changes that we made. And for that, since we spent the whole time at the PJS engine shop, I'm gonna turn this over to Cole Pez and let him show you what we've been working on.
Hey guys, Cole Pez with PJS Racing Engines. This weekend we're on board with the Redline Corvette. Alex Laughlin and his father Kenny, they decided to go with the PJS 4.9 power plant. We have a screw rotor on it. You may have seen it earlier this season. It had a Pro Charger MH6 Pro Line motor in it. They decided to step away from that platform and go with the screw. They feel like that's where the rules are at. We're excited to be working with Alex. We've known Alex for a long time. As you know, he has like 11 million licenses in 8 different organizations. He's one of the best drivers out here, and we firmly believe working with Alex and his family, if you give him a combination that's able to win, he can drive to win, and we believe in Alex and he believes in us. So this is going to be a great partnership for the future. All right, so we got the PJS Hemi on board this weekend, 4.9 power plant, cannon valve Hemi, raised the cam up 2.5 inches. Bunch of cool stuff about the engine. Me and my dad have been working on this thing for the last 4 or 5 years. It kind of got introduced to Street Outlaws when we worked with Chuck 55 last year. Obviously, we got Fuel Tech EFI on board. We've been working with Fuel Tech since 2018, doing the EFI on screw blowers and roots blowers and pretty much anything you can think of. Fuel Tech is one of the best companies out there. We have a great partnership with Luis De Leon and all the guys at Fuel Tech. I would say roughly at 98 over, the way we have it set up right now, we're making around 4,000 horse. All right, guys, we're going to turn it back over to Alex.
All right, so now we're right in the cockpit of the Redline Corvette. This is where all of the magic happens and where everything comes together. We're running the Fuel Tech FT600. I started running Fuel Tech back in like 2019 and have been an absolute fan ever since. For me, I'm Fuel Tech for life. We've got a turbo 400 transmission from M&M. It's an automatic, obviously. So this thing's pretty easy to drive as far as a functionality standpoint. There's carbon fiber everywhere, obviously trying to save as much weight as possible. That way we have movable weight, right? So if we need more weight hanging far on the front end or more weight on the back to get it to hook up, different scenarios, that's kind of what we're always chasing there. For the folks that were wondering how the heck I'm going to see around the house that is now parked on my hood, we actually have this pretty innovative little situation here. We've gone to an iPad, so it's got a camera and it actually does an absolute fantastic job. This whole thing turns into the Christmas tree, and can see perfectly around the blower just fine. So that's something that probably has never been done before. Probably will catch a little bit of hate over it, but guess what? You gotta see, and that's what we're doing to do it. So we're on the outside of the car, and the tire that we run is a 34.5. We've been running an 18-inch wide wheel. Now we're running a 20-inch wide wheel. So it's absolutely insane because it looks like a 55-gallon drum turned on its side with a 16-inch diameter, 20 inches wide. So we're getting as much contact with the racetrack as possible, stiffens the sidewall, and we were kind of struggling with getting the top of the tire into the wheel tubs of the Corvette, and so keeping that sidewall stretched out, it's keeping the tire shorter as well, so hopefully that's going to fix our problem there. We're really getting close to coming up to time to chip draw, and for me this is the biggest adrenaline rush for the entire weekend, is seeing who we're going to race. So let's see what happens from here.
Alex Laughlin Hey, which lane did you get though? Yeah, what lane did you get? The good one. You gonna use the iPad? I'm good. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I can see my post. I was gonna FaceTime him while he's in the
So what happened is we drew Alex Laughlin first round. I know y'all, he's doing his little video thing on him. But we got some rain out here, the track's wet. We ain't finna turn shit down, like I just told Scooter. I said, we only turning Alex down, and I'm gonna turn that boy face down, and I'm gonna whack that ass on the other end.
Alex Laughlin. Oh, Alex Laughlin versus Justin Lundstrom. Can't wait to see the things that coach from Alex, you get the right lane to see out of it. Yeah.
What a rush that was. Big thanks to Justin, and he actually seemed like he waited a little bit longer than he was to give these guys a fair run on the track. Alex pulled off that win, moving on to the next round.
All right, so we're up here for the chip draw for second round in the winner's bracket. I know that sounds crazy. And extra time is not something that we've had a plethora of today. We lost the first race to get in the winner's bracket, smoked the transmission. We were able to draw one of the lucky chips to get back in the winner's bracket, and in the meantime we had no choice but to try to at least swap transmissions entirely. We haven't actually ran both of the transmissions that we have, meaning the spare hasn't actually been in the car before. And turns out there's some things that weren't the same as far as the electronics go, and so we ended up literally just scabbing together wires. We had wires that are twisted together with duct tape, like not even crimped on butt connectors or anything. It was stressful. We gave up twice, to be honest, but then right when we gave up, somebody said we got 2 minutes, you know, and so we just kept thrashing and we got the car on the ground. I'm putting my helmet and stuff on as we're rolling up to the lanes, and started the car. Neutral was first gear was second gear, car wouldn't back up. It was like an entire disaster. I do have to say thank you to the Swanstrom team and family for making the call to wait on us. This is a situation where they wouldn't have had to, and especially since they're in a position where their car may have had some trouble as well, I don't know that I personally would have waited either, just to be completely honest. So I do appreciate them giving us the fighting chance. Went up there, staged the car, had no idea if the trans brake was even going to hold. Everything was wrong. It was all messed up. The car wouldn't shift on its own, so I ended up having to manually shift it, pedal the car. I mean, it was an absolute disaster that turned into a good story, and it's still being written. So we're moments away from drawing the chips and seeing who we line up against next.
All right, number one. Step forward with the Alex Laughlin and Crew. First there. Number 2.
Hey you guys, Cassie Laughlin here. A little bit about our Laughlin Farm story. So we started this nonprofit about a year ago, and it started out with one horse in very, very bad condition, having nowhere to put it. And then we turned this farm, Alex's grandfather's farm, into a large animal rescue. And now we have 25 animals, and over the time of the last year, we've grown tremendously connected to all of them. And so when we're not racing, we're rescuing. And if you want to know more about our rescue, then visit laughlinfarm.org. And if you're super into supporting animals and want to know more about their story, feel free to reach out to us. We love to hear from everybody and their stories as well. So yeah, visit us at laughlinfarm.org and see you at the racetrack.
Chris Michael here, owner of Bad Intentions Racing. Giuseppe Gentile drives Gucci. We're going up winners bracket, round 2 against Alex Laughlin. We're going to put on the win light on him.
Right across your belly. Bam. Hey, buddy. You want to take a picture for us? Yeah. You want to take a picture, Dennis? Better change your shirt, though. We'll work on that. We'll fix it. All right, guys. So made it to the quarterfinals. We drew Giuseppe, second round. It's tough racing the guys that are 1 and 2 in the points, right? We had a little bit of extra time to be able to get the car fixed and have it correct going up there for the second round. Giuseppe's car, he's probably the quickest car in the series right now, and I can promise you that we're right there with him for at least the first 300 feet. So all of the progress that we've made this weekend, it really shows where we're headed from here. We changed so many things, and we had a few things that failed us, but we're finding out what the weak links are, and I can promise you it'll be ready next time. All in all, put some points on the board, and unfortunately we're gonna have to miss the next race in Cordova, headed to NHRA, have to run the Factory X car, but we will be back out at the next one, and hope to see everybody there. Thank you for the continued support. All right, guys, so that's a wrap on Brainerd. I do want to take a second to give a shout out to all of the sponsors behind me. Obviously, this is a ton of work, and it takes every single piece of the puzzle to be able to do what we're doing here. And without these folks supporting us, we absolutely couldn't do it. So if there's something that they make that you need, you can also help support us by buying from them. Alex Laughlin here, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.